بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
All praise and thanks due to Allah who has made it possible for us to witness today. We praise Him and glorify Him. Inshallah, today we are starting our tafsir, Ramadan tafsir, sisters tafsir, the second day of Ramadan, 1446. We pray that Allah will make it easy for us to understand and follow His injunctions. Amen. Inshallah, today we are going to be reading from what scholars have to say regarding a chapter of the Quran. And this year we are going to be looking at Surah Hujurat. Surah Hujurat. This surah said, "Hadi Surah Madaniyah." Said this surah is Medina surah. It was revealed in Medina, not in Makkah. You know we have two places that the Quran was revealed. It's either in Makkah or in Medina. And before we continue, I'll pray with our sisters. Please let's pay attention to this surah. It's one of the surah that have come to discuss about Adam. وقال ذكر ابن كثير رحمه الله أنها نزلت في سنة التاسع من الهجرة. Ibn Kathir reported that this particular surah, he mentioned in his tafsir that this particular surah was revealed the 9th year after the Hijrah. And it contained 18 verses. Only 18 verses from the first one to the last verse. There are only 18 verses in this surah. So وهي سورة جليلة تتضمن حقائق كبيرة من حقائق العقيدة والشريعة. So this particular surah is a very mighty one. It's a surah that have power, that have power, and it talk a lot about some legislation, rulings, starting from the aqidah, the legislations, and the right of individuals, the right of Muslim towards his Muslim brother. التي تفتح القلوب والآفات عالية. And this surah also talk about how we should relate with one another. So likewise, this surah is not the only name. Is not only named Surah Al-Hujurat. He said to some Surah Al-Hujurat, or to some Aidan Surah Al-Akhlaq. And they also named this surah to be Surah Al-Akhlaq. The surah that talk about manners, that talk about behavior. وهي كما لا يخفى تتحدث عن أربع آداب وأعلاها بدأ من الأصل الإيماني العظيم. He said this surah talk about adab, the etiquettes, how we should relate. And Allah start with the first one, which is himself. That's what Allah said in the first surah, the first part of the surah.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تقدموا بين يدي الله ورسوله.
Allah said what? يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تقدموا بين يدي الله ورسوله. This is the first adab that this chapter comes to mention. that you should not precede Allah and His Messenger with any injunction. Just like as Amir was explaining yesterday, وَمَنْ كَانَ لِلْمُؤْمِنِ وَلَا مُؤْمِنَةٍ إِذَا قَضَى اللَّهُ وَرَسُولُهُ أَمْرًا أَنْ يَكُونَ لَهُمُ الْخِيَرَةُ. So it is not befitting, it is not proper that when Allah Azza wa Jal has decreed, or His Messenger has decreed that a Muslim will not have option, will not have choice, it's unworthy. So this surah started with this first aspect, which is the right of Allah. So وهذا الأصل الإيماني عظيم من أهم الأركان والمقتضيات. So this asl, this foundation is one of the great foundation. And this one التحقق بتقوى الله تعالى is that you should fear Allah Azza wa Jalla. Likewise, this surah also talk about. Okay, before that, I said, وَإِنَّ لَخَيْتُ الَّذِي يَتَرَوَّتُ بَيْنَ أَجْزَاءِ هَذِهِ السُّورَةِ مِنْ أَوَّلِهَا إِلَى آخِرِهَا هُوَ إِيمَانٌ. That's what Allah said with the ayah of the Amen. He said, the connection between each verses of this Quran, of this chapter, is Iman. Because if you do not have Iman, there's no point in now discussing other etiquettes that this chapter has come to discuss. كما أن وسيلة التحقق بهذا الإيمان وتدرج في مقام التقوى والإنسان تعلق بالقلب بأسماء الله تعالى وصفاته إيمانا وفهما وحبا وذوقا is that you should also know that the means for you to attain all this etiquette that will be mentioned in this chapter is that you should have Iman. Not only that, also attach your heart to this name and attribute of Allah Azza wa Jalla. Wa muraqaban, also you also take Allah as your watch, as I want to be seen in this chapter. That is why Allah said, "Wal amru bitalaqi anillah wa rasulihi bi kulli shay." Is that you should always receive from Allah without what you having a choice and His messenger in all of your affairs. وعدم تقدم على أمر من أمرهما ثم يأمر بالتقوى ويرد ذلك باسمه. After Allah finished from what this, He now talk about fight. That is Allah said, وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ إِنَّ اللَّهَ سَمِيعٌ عَلِيمٌ. ثم تتحدث السورة عن عدم مع رسوله. After Allah talk about preceding Allah and His messenger, He now move on to talk about the etiquette, how to relate to the Prophet ﷺ. How to relate to the Prophet ﷺ. Said, وَلَا يَنْفَ وَجْهُ رِكِبَاتِ ذَلِكَ بِالْآيَةِ الْأُولَى. If you look at this, it's so clear, the connection between the first verse and the second verse. After you not precede Allah Azza wa Jalla and His messenger in any affair, then He now moves to the next verse that
يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا ترفعوا أصواتكم فوق صوت النبي.
He said what? Allah now moved to the aspect that how you should not raise your voice before the Prophet ﷺ. Said فهذا أثر الدرمي للإيمان بالله برسوله الله. He said from this verse is so evidence that you should believe in Allah, and part of believing in Allah is to lower your voice before Him. ثم تتحدث السورة عن المنهج الذي يلزم المسلم في تلقي الأخبار وقبولها وروايتها. Then this chapter now proceed to talk about how we should relate with information. If someone should come to you and tell you, oh, so happened, how do you relate with it? That is why Allah said, يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن جاءكم فاسق بنبأ فتبينوا. He said, if a person, someone that is not trustworthy, should come to you with any information, you should what? Verify. And this is the only religion that has discussed something of such. Now talk about manner. ستتحدث سورة عن منهج الذي تتزمن الأمة عندما يدب دبيب اختلاف بين الفريقين من أبنائها. Then this chapter now move further to discuss the manhaj, the way, the methodology to rectify between two Muslims that are fighting. If two Muslims are fighting, how do you rectify? How do you reconcile between them? So the surah now continues that ثم تتحدث سورة عن منهج الذي يربط بين المؤمنين في المجتمعات. And after that, Allah now talk about how Muslims should relate in the mu'minuna ikhwa. Muslims are brother, and you should be doing good to one another. Then Allah now moved to another aspect of life, which is the genesis, the origin of mankind. Says Suduri Bashariya and Asluwai, that they are all from what? From one word being, is Adam alayhi salam. Says Suduri Bashariya and Asluwai wa annaha marbubatun rabbil wahid. So that they should also know that since they are from one man, they should also worship what? One Lord. La sharika lah. And there is no deity. He has no partner. Wa anna la fadla li ahadin ala ahad. Is that you should also know that there is nobody that is superior to other. Illa bi taqwallahi wal iman. Except when you have iman. And Allah now end this chapter with him having the complete knowledge of what happened to his ibad, to his servant. And from this, we now learn a particular qaida, for you to get the proper iman, the right iman, is when you have good adab. And you have wisdom to relate with what? With all circumstances. Or you can summarize that it means al-adabu bil-iman. You should have behavior, you should have good etiquette, follow with iman. Once you have these two things, you be among the what? The good Muslims. Before we move properly to the tafsir of this surah, there are some verses that Allah repeated them in this surah, and it's not that he just repeated it for the repeating sake. There is goya, there is aim towards that. One of these is what the first verse that we read. Allah mentioned that several times in this surah, and in this surah he mentioned it like 5 times. وذلك لربط العقائد تشريعية والأخلاقية. That is to connect the legislation of Allah to the behavior of people, and that is when you have iman, you now have behavior. Likewise, in this surah, Allah repeated the word taqwa. He repeated that word like 5 times. In 3 places he said what? Ittaqullah. Where the other two said what? Intanallah qulubahum ittaqwa. And that's what inna akramakum atqakum. And the main goal of all of this is that you should always fear Allah at every point in time. Then Allah also mentioned some of his name in this surah, and he repeated what the word Allahu 25 times in this surah. Likewise, it's also repeated the word Alim 4 times, Ar-Rahim 3 times, and Al-Ghafur 2 times. And there are some names, we will mention them once, like As-Sami', Al-Hakim, Al-Tawwab, Al-Qadir, Al-Basir. And the last that also repeated in this particular surah is the Prophet Sallallahu. He repeated his name 6 times in this surah. One with the loves and the Nabi, and the remaining one are Rasul. So that is that for the introduction to this word, to this tafsir. Inshallah, we'll move down properly to the first verse of this chapter. Allah said what?
يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تقدموا بين يدي الله ورسوله واتقوا الله إن الله سميع عليم.
Allah Azza wa Jalla said, Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu لا تقدموا بين يدي الله ورسوله واتقوا الله إن الله سميع عليم. Allah started with Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu. Oh, you who believe. Oh, you claim to be a Muslim. How will you actualize this your title? We should not precede Allah and His Messenger in any affair. Say, I that to continue Amuran, our Hukman, our Royan do not matter. So what it means is not precede Allah with any affair or any ruling. That Allah said this, you say the otherwise. Or you do otherwise. Our royal or opinion. Allah will opinion that what you should do it this way. I said, no, that one is too harsh, it's too barbaric. Like the way some people put it today. Allah said what? If you have to catch a thief, if a thief was being caught, you should chop off his hand. They said, no, it's too barbaric. But there's nothing wrong with it that what you should burn thief alive. That one is not barbaric. Let's do it the way Allah has what to command us to do it. Said Ma'khudhu min Qadim al-Jaysh. Said the word that Qadim means when the soldiers are moving to the war front. Said should not move before Allah Azza wa Jalla. Make any move. That is why Abu Ubaydullah said Allah would yaqul la taqaddim bayna yaday al-imam. Said the Arab used to say we should not precede the imam, we should not go before the imam. Wa bayna yaday al-ab, or you should not go before your father. He said that what they mean by this word is that la tu'ajil bil amr dunhum. You should not precede them with any affair. So that is that. Let's not take this one after the other. Allah said what? Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. سيفتتح الله تعالى هذه السورة بهذا نداء رباني. Al-Habib said Allah starts this chapter by calling on, by this calling as the divine calling. So al-nida an-nadi wasir ila qulubul ibadil mu'minin. So this calling is to what? So for you to what? Anything that will come after it, you take it to heart. لأنه أحب وصف لهم عند ربهم. Because that is the best description that Allah has given to them. إنه نداء الذي يدل على رفعتهم عند ربهم. So this call shows that they have rank in the sight of Allah. وكرامة, that Allah also honor them. Say والخصوصية دون ما سواهم. And this is being specific to them. لأنها استجابة لنداء الإمام ta'ib wa bimisa fitr, because this is showing that Allah calling you and you are ready to what? To respond to this call shows that you have fulfilled the fitrah, the natural instincts of mankind. Because when Allah created mankind, He said what? Alastu bi rabbikum qalu bala. Before you go into this world, you make it pledge to Allah. And you are fulfilling that word, that is why Allah is honoring you according to Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Because when Allah created Adam, Allah called the whole progeny, the whole children of Nabi Adam, starting from the first person from his children till the last person, and asked them, Alastu bi rabbikum. Am I not your Lord? Qalu bala shahidna. And they said, yes, we have to testify to that. So you coming to this world and fulfilling that word, that witness, that is why I decided what to describe you as what those who believe. So وَوَصْفُ الْإِيمَانُ هُوَ أَصْمًا مَا يَتَصِفُ بِهِ الْإِنسَانُ. That Allah should describe you as who believe is the best description that Allah will describe the human being with. If Allah will, I wish we have said, Ya ayyuhan nas. But rather Allah said was, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. لأن عليه مدار سعادة الإنسان أو شقاوة. Said because this is a point of what? Of discriminating between what? Those that are righteous, those that will be successful, and those that will be rich, those that will be doomed in hellfire. وَنَجَاتُهُ وَعُسْرَانُهُ. Those that will be a loser, those that will be successful on the day of judgment. And how do we have this iman? Iman is in the heart. It's in the heart. That's what Prophet said in Hadith. فَإِذَا صَلَحَتْ صَلَحَ جَسَدُهُ كُلُّهُ. When it is pure, when the heart is pure, the whole body will also be pure. وَإِذَا فَسَدَ الْجَسَدُ كُلُّهُ. Likewise, if the heart is what is corrupt, the whole body will also be corrupted. That is why Allah also said in another hadith, said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ تَعَالَى لَا يَنْظُرُ إِلَى صُوَرِكُمْ وَلَا إِلَى أَجْسَادِكُمْ وَلَكِنْ يَنْظُرُ إِلَى قُلُوبِكُمْ وَأَعْمَالِكُم. Said Allah Ta'ala, will not look at your structure, that you are beautiful, you are this, you are handsome. Allah will not look at that. Or how your body is. So rather you look at your heart and your deeds. It's with these two things that you attain this title of Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. You know how these two things, that means you are not qualified to be among those that are believers. And if you look at the Quran, Allah repeated this particular one, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, several places. According to reports, said what? 900 times in the Quran. To show, said so that the believers will be able to connect their deeds, their heart with what? With their deeds, with their lips. وقد قال رجل لعبد الله بن مسعود اهدي لي إلي يا عبد الله. A man came to Abdullah ibn Mas'ud and he asked him to come. You should advise me. And he said, إذا سمعت الله تعالى يقول, whenever you heard that Allah said what? يا أيها الذين آمنوا فارفع صوتك. He said you should pay attention and listen to what come after. He said, فَإِنَّهُ خَيْرٌ تُؤْمَرُ بِهِ. He said that one of these two. One is that he's commanding you to do good. أَوْ شَرٌ تُنْعَنُهُ. Or is evil and is prohibiting you from that. He said, إِنَّهُ نِدَاءٌ الَّذِي يَرْفَعُ الْمُؤْمِنَ وَيُعْلِيهِ. He said this particular call comes to uplift you from just being a normal human being. Just being a human being. Because we are just human beings, that's why if Allah is generalizing it to the whole mankind, he said, Ya ayyuhan nas. But this is being taken care of. It's being because He loves you. That's why I said, Ya ayyuhal ladina amanu. Because He have hold you as someone that have keen, that have value. Said, ويتكرر هذا النداء حبيب أسير إلى قلب كل مؤمن. And this, so that any commandment that will come after this will penetrate the heart. That Allah is calling is the one that we are talking about now. فقد يتصدر نهي عن تقدم بين يدي الله ورسوله. The first is to prohibit you from what? You preceding Allah Ta'ala in any matter.
تقدموا بين يدي الله ورسوله.
This is the first command. The command is that what you should run away from going before Allah. So saying anything before Allah, doing any action before Allah Ta'ala. And the second, I have mentioned that what you should also have adab when you are with the Prophet. You should talk calmly, not shouting. And also how to relate with information. I think we mentioned that before. Now, he said, Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu faka'annama talfitu anzarul qala ila annaha taqaddamu fiha shawtun qabla mashruti. He said, those people that have sense, that have knowledge, they see this as that you preceding, that Allah says you not precede Allah. This particular word is coming before you now give you the condition. What you have to do, and now give the condition of what to do before then. So وفي نداء وفي بدر بهذا النداء قبل إلقاء الأحكام والتكاليف دلالة وتنبيه على أهمية أن يبدأ داعية إلى الله تعالى بالإيمان. So from this, that Allah should begin with this sign, with this call, is for you to receive wisdom, and the rulings that will come after is that all your affairs should really start with the word of Allah. If you are doing that one, start from belief in Allah. So while you are doing ويستقيم, and this will be firm and continuous. فَيُؤْتِ السَّمَاءُ كُلَّ حِينٍ بِإِذْنِ رَبِّهِ, and you'll be able to attain the fruit of Iman with the permission of Allah when we are sticking to all of what we mentioned regarding those that believe. And when Allah finished with his out, he now said,
إِنَّ اللَّهَ سَمِيعٌ عَلِيمٌ.
Before that, he said the word of taqwa.
وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ.
Allah said what? Wattaqullah, ittaqullah, fear Allah. Fear what? Fear Allah. So kalimatu taqwa ma ahabba min kalimati Allah ta'ala. He said the word taqwa, fear of Allah, is the most beloved word to Allah Ta'ala. Wa ma waqa fi nafsin kullu mu'min. And now it's occur in the life of every mu'min. Wa ma ahabba kadhalika ila qalbi. That is how you also be beloved by Allah Ta'ala. فإنها صفة جامع وحقائق ساتق. He said this صفة of taqwa is a sifa that is encompassing, it's a general attribute and right that is so lofty, and it's also wasiyah, is a will, it's a big request from Allah to his what? To his servant, from the first generation to the last. Just like we have mentioned different prophets and he commanded to what? To have fight, to command to their people what was to have fight, to have fear of Allah. So سبب من أوسط أسباب التوفيق والنجاح, and it's also a reason for people to be successful in this world and in the hereafter. وحسن العاقبة والفلاح, it's also a reason for people to get for Muslims to have good endings. وهي هدية المؤمنين وتاج العارفين. Said is the dress, is the beauty of the moment, and also a crown for the believers. وهي روح الإسلام, and is what gives soul to the Islam. Without taqwa, nothing like Islam. Because with taqwa, you have fear of Allah always. وروحها سلامة القلب من الغل والحسد. So with the soul of Islam, you will be free. Your heart will be free of hatred. Your heart will be free of any kind of what of hatredness. Or plots against individuals or deceptions. That is what I said. What is Surah Al-Shu'ara? Said, "Yawma la yanfa'u malun wa la banun." Said, a day that the wealth and the children will not be of any benefit.
إلا من أتى الله بقلب سليم.
Except for those that go to Allah on that day with a sound heart. And sound heart is what you have fear of Allah. Taqwa. So وهي غاية ما يرفع إلى الله من الأعمال. And it's also the aim is the purpose that Allah will accept deeds. That is what Allah said in Surah Al-Hajj. لن ينال
الله لحومها ولا دماؤها ولكن يناله التقوى منكم.
Allah said what? لن ينال الله لحومها. When he was talking about what? The animal you keep doing what during the Adha, the animal that is slaughtered. He said that animal, the flesh will not go to Allah. That is not what Allah needs. Wala dima'uha, likewise not the blood. That the blood you slaughter the animal, the blood is flowing. That is not for Allah. Walakin yanaluhu taqwa minkum. Is that fear of Allah that is in you, and Allah used to accept that animal from you as what? A sacrifice. So all your deeds, if you don't have fight, you don't have fear of Allah in your deeds, Allah will not accept them. He said, وَهِيَ ضَمَانَةُ السَّلْفِ وَالْأَمْنِ لِلْأَفْرَادِ وَالْمُجْتَمَعَاتِ. He said, this taqwa is also what? A means for security, a means to be saved individually and what? Congregationally. In Jama'ah, it's a means that you will be saved. Say, وَلَا يَسْتَنْكِفُ عَنْهَا أَوْ يَنْفِرُ مِنْ سَمَاعِ وَصِيَّةُ بِهَا إِلَّا كَافٍ عَنِيدٍ. And you will never be running away from listening to what will come after, except those that are disbelievers, that are arrogant, that are infidel. That is why Allah mentioned in Surah Al-Baqarah, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يُعْجِبُكَ قَوْلُهُ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَيُشْهِدُ اللَّهَ عَلَى مَا فِي قَلْبِهِ وَهُوَ أَلَدُّ الْخِصَامِ. Allah said, from among the mankind, man yujibuka qawlu fil dunya. They can talk, they have eloquence in their speech. When they are talking, mashallah, this is a Muslim, it's a mashallah, it's a mala. One of our ustad was saying some days ago, I think last month precisely, he said, there's a Malan that is teaching English. This particular Malan finished from Saudi. We went there to read what? Quran. Ulum Quran. I know you should be expecting much from someone that went to Saudi to learn what? Al-Quran. Not only Quran, science of Quran. He said this madam, he was teaching him English because he's not ground in English. He was teaching English. And the madam said about, I'm talking about two madams now. One of the madams is here in Nigeria, the other one went to Saudi and came back. He was trying to learn English from the other madam. The madam said he was owing me some money. But because of one reason, he can talk, he had a eloquence, he now mobilized some youths that what Tinubu is doing is good. That the man should be patient with God with the government. And he now wrote to be the budget to the presidency that they need 200 billion to do prayer for the government. Because he can talk. That is what Allah is saying. Man, you do the qawluhu fil hayati dunya.
ويشهد الله على ما في قلبه وهو على الخصام.
He said, from mankind to be surprised when they are talking. They are man and they are mashallah. They can speak Arabic than us. When he says, what he's saying is right. But the reality is trying to cajole you to do something that is against what Allah about command. ويشهد الله على ما في قلبه. And he will be calling Allah, say, Allah, I swear by Allah. Allah can see my heart now. وهو
على الخصام.
Allah said what? They are so ferocious in what is argument. They can argue, and you will think, what they are saying is right, what they are saying is right. So وإذا تولى
وإذا تولى في الأرض سعى ليفسد فيها.
Said what? وإذا تولى سعى في الأرض. When they turn away, when you are not with them again, they turn away. سعى في الأرض. They will move around and they were on the earth. The يفسد فيها to cause corruption. ويهلك الحرث والنسل. And they will destroy animal and what? And crops. And وإذا قيل لهم اتقوا الله
أخذتهم العزة بالإثم.
And people like this, when you tell them, fear Allah, they hold their pride. No, we are not doing anything. What you are doing is good. Where they are committing sins. And that's it.
أحسبهم جهنم ولبئس المهاد.
Allah said, if you suffice them, Jahannam will be their abode. And he has been there. And that is the worst of returning, worst of abode. So while this is talk about Kitab Aziz, Wasim Tawhid. If you want to talk about taqwa, you can start from morning to evening. We continue talking about taqwa. Taqwa is very wide, a very long aspect of Islam. فإنها تسبق كل عمل. The taqwa come before any deeds. Any deed you want to partake in it, fear of Allah came first. وتقترن بكل عمل ويقترن بها كل عمل. It's connected with all deeds. Likewise, it also ends with all deeds. Any deed you have to start, you start with the taqwa of Allah. In the process, you still have taqwa of Allah. And at the end, you also what? Have taqwa of Allah. لِتَكُونَ خَاتِمُ الْقَبُولِ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ. So that at the end of your deed, Allah will accept it. You have to have taqwa in this series. At the beginning, throughout the course of the act action, till the ending. That is why Allah said, إِنَّمَا يَتَقَبَّلُ اللَّهُ مِنَ الْمُتَّقِينَ. When I was talking about the children of Nabi Adam, Qabil and Habil. And when one said, I want to kill you, he said, what? إِنَّمَا يَتَقَبَّلُ اللَّهُ مِنَ الْمُتَّقِينَ. So Allah will only accept from what? Those that have pride, those that have fear of Allah. So also taqwa, it precedes all affairs. Whether it's prohibition, whether it's command, it starts with taqwa. If you don't have taqwa, Allah says you leave this. You don't be able to leave it. Allah said, don't commit zina. Without taqwa, without the fear of Allah, you commit zina. That is what Allah said about وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. Whoever have fear of Allah, Allah will make it easy for him. He will make a leeway for him. Everything will be easy to him. Just an instance that the particular sister said he was in a car one day. This hot weather, just like the way we have it today. In a car with a niqab and hijab. And one lady beside him that is exposed, he was just be fanning. And he was still looking at the sister. What is wrong with this one? With all this complete attire, and she's still comfortable. She now asks her, "Please, are you not feeling it?" Say, "Allah, make it easy for me to eat it like this." That is what the fear of Allah is.
وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا.
Without the fear of Allah, you're not able to, you're not putting on your hijab because you to be complaining that the heat is too harsh. Just like another sister, the same scenario, and the sister mentioned this verse is what we talk. She said what? That what hellfire is more hotter than this world, than the sun here.
لا تنفروا في الحر قل النار أشد حق النار جهنم أشد حرا لو كنتم تعلمون.
And the sister now replied that what the hellfire is more hotter. It's so severe compared to the sun we have here in this world. Just like they have narrated from the hadith that what on that day people will be under sun, some will be on their sweat, will be involved with their sweat. Some their sweat will reach their knees like that because of the hotness of the sun. And the sister was Allah said what the density of the sun of hellfire is more compared to the heat that I'm facing in this world. It's just one of perseverance. If you have fear of Allah, Allah will make it easy for you. Things that people are saying that is so difficult, Allah will make it easy for you. Not only that, وَيَرْزُقُهُ
مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ.
And Allah will provide from the means that you do not expect. If not for what? For taqwa of Allah. This the way the economy is today, majority of us will have been complaining here and there. But because you have fear of Allah, anyhow, Allah wants it. That is it. And Allah also said in the same Surah Al-Baqarah, وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يُكَفِّرْ عَنْهُ سَيِّئَاتِهِ وَيُعْظِمْ لَهُ أَجْرًا. So whoever have fear of Allah, Allah will wipe away his sins. Allah will wipe away his sins. وَيُعْظِمْ لَهُ أَجْرًا. And will magnify for him reward. You have a lot of reward. وحقيقة التقوى أنها حالة قلبية تقوم على خشية الله ومراقبته. He said, and the real taqwa of Allah, the real fear of Allah is the condition of the heart. How is the condition? How is your heart? Or just claim that what you have believe. And when Allah said do this, you're not doing it. Just when Allah said it's what to do, it's how to Ankabut. أحسب الناس
أن يتركوا أن يقولوا آمنا وهم لا يفتنون.
Allah said what? Are you thinking? Do you think that what you should just say, I believe, I'm a believer, I'm a believer, I'm a mu'min, and you will not be tested? Definitely, Allah will test you to see. Are you really, truly, are you a real believer? And that is in the heart. And how do you attain taqwa? Taqumu ala khashyatillah. Is that you have fear of Allah. Wa muraqibatihi. And you use Allah to watch all your actions. these two aspects, you have them in you. We are what among the muttaqin. Is that you have fear, that you only have fear of Allah, and all your dealings, you watch what Allah have to say about this, what Allah have to say about it before you want engage in that action. وَتَعْظِيمُ أَمْرِهِ وَنَهْيِهِ, and you magnify, you honor the command of Allah, likewise his prohibition. Allah says you should do this, you quickly run to do it, rush to do it. Allah says you should leave this, you also rush to leave it. سَيَتَّبِعُ صَاحِبُهَا عَلَى فِعْلِ مَا يُحِبُّ اللَّهُ وَيَرْضَى, and it will encourage you, to motivate you. What's that fear of Allah? It will motivate you to do what Allah loves. It will motivate you to do what Allah loves, and Allah is pleased with. It will make you to want to hasten to do what Allah has commanded to do. And it will also make you to run away from his prohibition. And this taqwa of Allah, its point is in the heart. Where taqwa of Allah is what is in the heart, not everywhere. Not just living, it is on the heart. That is what Muslim said. He said, what? Taqwa ha. He said, what? The fear of Allah is here. And the point was what? He is what? His heart. His chest. 3 times. So وَهِيَ عَبْدُ الْوِلَايَةٌ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ, and is from taqwa, from the fear of Allah, also decide who are the wali of Allah, who are the adayas of Allah. Allah said in Surah Yunus, Allah inna awliya Allahi la khawfun alayhim
wa la hum yahzanun.
Allah said, Allah, behold, inna awliya Allah, the wali of Allah, the ally of Allah, very good, the ally of Allah, la khawfun alayhim, there is no any fear upon them. That means not their condition, whether they are in hardship or difficulty, they have their full trust on Allah.
وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ.
And they will not worry, they will not be grieved. So as a Muslim, we have to have this as part of us. And Allah said, who are those that have this alliance with Allah? الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَكَانُوا يَتَّقُونَ. Is that they are those that believe, not only believing, and they also have fear of Allah. So here, Zadul Qulub wal Arwah al-Mu'minin, and is the preparation that the heart has, the preparation of the heart and the soul that we believe that we have. As a believer, you have to always prepare yourself to taqwa of Allah. وهي بتتوقع بأسرارها تراب وتشرب. So with the blessing of taqwa, you have happiness, you have what? Radiance in your heart, in your dealings. He said, وَعَلَيْهَا تَسَنُّ فِي نَجَاتٌ وَالْوُصُولِ. He said, with this taqwa of Allah, as a wajad, you will be successful and you will be able to reach your aim and target. So, وَإِنَّ أُولُو الْأَلْبَابِ هُمْ أَوَّلُ مَا يُدْرِكُ السَّقْلُ تَوْجِيهِ إِلَى تَقْوَى وَوَزْنِهِ. He said, those that have knowledge, full of knowledge, are the first runner regarding this. وَخَيْرُ مَنْ يَنْتَفِعُ بِهَذَا زَادٌ وَيَجْعَلُهُ إِدَّةٌ وَإِتَادٌ وَشِيَارٌ وَدِسَارٌ. He said, because of that, they prepare themselves with this zad, with this preparation, and they make it as their equipment. They make it as their pillar, as their string to hold them to what we fear of Allah. That is what Allah said in Surah Al-A'raf. وَلِبَاسُ تَقْوَى خَيْرٌ ذَلِكَ خَيْرٌ. He said the libas that you include yourself, you engage yourself with what? With the fear of Allah. That is the best. And Allah also said in Surah Al-Baqarah, وَتَزَوَّدُوا
فَإِنَّ خَيْرَ الزَّادِ التَّقْوَى.
So وَتَزَوَّدُوا فَإِنَّ خَيْرَ الزَّادِ التَّقْوَى. prepare yourself, get yourself ready for the hereafter. And said the best preparation is the fear of Allah. Allah said, "Wattaquni ya ulil albab." Those of you that have knowledge, that have sense, that have intellect, you should fear me. So wattaqwa is easier to be domir وشفافة الشعور وخشية مستمرة وهذا دائما. The taqwa is something visible, is something concrete that you feel in your heart. Oh, you have fear of Allah. You know of fear of Allah, a lot of things you don't be able to do it. A lot of things you don't be able to live it. But you have to show, and in your feelings, it deals with your feelings. وخشية مستمرة, and also the fear of Allah is continuous. وَالْحَرُّ دَائِمٌ, and caution that is always caution yourself. I should not do this. Because Allah said you should not do that. Because of fear of Allah, you are cautioning yourself. But the وَكِلِ أَشْوَاقُ طَرِيقٍ, and it also make you to fear the difficulty that you face on the path of Al-Islam. Because you can't say you are a Muslim and say you don't face test. Definitely you face test. And for you to persevere is with the taqwa of Allah Azza wa Jalla. It's a tariq ayat already tajarabu ashwaq gharaib wa shawaq. Because in this world, it means your livelihood in this world have a lot of difficulty. That one, they want to lure you to want to commit them, and you will now be at the verge of what? Of destruction. Wa shawaq, and desires. Ashwaq matamin or matamin, like aspiration. You want to aspire, I want to be a billionaire. Because of that, you want to try by all means. Just like what is happening in this society today. You want to become billionaire. They kill you for their living. Because fear of Allah is not in them. That is why Umar ibn Khattab, he has to be Ibn Ka'ab regarding taqwa. He said, what is taqwa? Maybe you should tell him about taqwa. فقال له, and said, Amma salakta tariq zashab. He said, Umar, he said, Ubay said to Umar, have you ever passed through a path that was filled of all sort of thorns? Where we are going, you see stone, you see bottle, all sorts of injurious water items on the way. Oh, la bala. And Umar said, yes, I've tried a path like that. Qala fama amita, and Ubay now answered, what do you do then? Qala sammartu jahad, I was careful and I strive so that I will not match any of this thing on the way. And Ubay now said, وَكَذَلِكَ التَّقْوَى. So that is what is taqwa. That was the fear of Allah, that you train with care. You live your life with care of what, not doing what Allah has permitted you to do, and also doing what Allah has to do. And that is why a particular Shaykh from this statement of Umar, he now prepare a poem that حَلَّ الذُّنُوبُ كَبِيرُهَا وَصَغِيرُهَا ذَاكَ تَقْوَى. He said you should run away, you should be void of all sins, whether it's small or big. Don't think that this sin is too small. Whether the sin is small or big, make sure you run away from it. So that is taqwa. So what now? Kama shifauqa abdu shauki. So you should do like someone that is walking in a land that is containing of all injurious items. Yeah, no mayaro. So you be careful with what you are seeing. What you are saying now, this bottle, this stone, you are careful of what of your step. So la ta'kiranna sagiratan inna jibala min al-asr. So don't overlook. This one is so small now. Don't overlook it, because from small stone, that's when you form what? Mountain. The mountain that you are seeing today, Some small things that combine that form the month. So I don't now end because of time. Let me play around this up. Then see, you can talk. As I said earlier on, issue of taqwa, we just continue discussing this content without ending today.
واتقوا الله إن الله سميع عليم.
Before moving to that very part of the verse, I want us to take the definition of what Ali ibn Abu Talib regarding taqwa. He said, when you say taqwa, it means these 4 things. You have these 4 things in you. You have piety. You have fear of Allah. First one, khawful jaleel. Khawful al-jaleel. You fear the majesty. You fear Allah Ta'ala. All of our fear, you are in fear of Allah. Number 2, wal amalu bitanzil. You walk with the revelation. The hadith of the Prophet sallallahu and the Quran and the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu. Warida biyasir, and you are pleased with the little you have. That small thing you have, you are pleased with it. You are not just eager to have by all means. Wal istidad biyawm rahil, and the 4th is that you prepare yourself from transition, from leaving this world to the hereafter. Now we now move to the word, the last part of the word, last.
إن الله سميع عليم.
Said what? Inna Allah Sami'un Alim. Allah is what? As-Sami'. Al-Alim. Allah is what? As-Sami'. Is the all-hearing, Al-Alim, and the all-knowing. Let's simply take lessons from this chapter that was, from this verse that we just finished reading. Sorry. Because of time, let's see, you can see 1 or 2 lessons from this verse.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تقدموا بين يدي الله ورسوله واتقوا الله إن الله سميع عليم.
So the first lesson we learn from this particular verse we finished reading is that you should always take Allah as what? As your reference point. Don't go before Allah, say you should go. Or once you are doing anything, you will not present Allah. That's what I said. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la tuqaddimu bayna yaday Allahi wa rasulih. Likewise, Prophet sallallahu. And also learn from this is that we should always have fear of Allah. Always. That's why I said the Prophet sallallahu. Anywhere you are, always have fear of Allah. Don't think you are alone. You now do all the unthinkable. And also learn from this particular verse is that Allah is as-Sami'. Allah hears everything you are doing. You also have the knowledge of all your dealings. May Allah make it easy for us. وأقول قولي هذا أستغفر لكم من كل ذنب إنه هو الغفور الرحيم وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Is there any question?